Welcome everybody to our webinar. Let's assess our improve your care goal setting approach. So we decided with Dmitry that it's nice to wrap up the year with review of the goals. And before we start, a few quick intro about myself in Metro. So quickly about myself. So I'm staff agile coach and delivery hero. I also partner with Dima in company Executon, and also we partners with Oboard. So I'm originally from Ukraine, as I already wrote in the chat. I live already for 5 years in Berlin, Germany. Yeah, I like coaching, facilitation, train, consult, and I have one cat without a tail and one kid.
And it was not an accident, yes, Igor, with the tail. It's just how
No,
it was born.
breed. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some
Okay.
cats exist without tails.
Yeah. Good. My name is Dmitro, or Dima is easier to pronounce. I am organizational coach, partner, and together with Igor in our small consulting company, Execute On, and we are proud to be exclusive partners of Oboard software. We're helping their clients with OKR implementation trainings, also from Ukraine. The last 2 years, I live in Copenhagen, Denmark. Yeah, OKRs is one of the biggest directions right now that yeah, takes quite some time helping companies with. Yeah, I have a dog. Actually, I also have a cat, but it's in Ukraine, unfortunately. And yeah, I have 2 kids. So very short about me. And yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we need to go through everything, but
yeah.
just yeah, we did a lot of OKR implementations. There are also a few projects like OKR accelerator we recommend to watch on the YouTube. Dima also they're part of the OKR mentors community, certified OKR coach. Yeah, so we do some stuff,
Yeah.
not
So
only
we have some knowledge to share. Yes, it's not
and
like
some
random
fun.
people read some books and would like to have a webinar. We actually have a lot of hands-on with companies to implement OKRs. Yeah.
And we have a
Margot?
few slides about Oboard. Margot will share a bit.
Yeah, I'm here just to say a couple of words about Oboard. We actually help companies achieve their ambitious goals with our OKR apps. We help to automate the processes to save time and make the whole process and experience better. We are in the market for 6 years. We operate in more than 100 countries with more than 3,000 customers from very different industries. And we are very happy to be here. And if you got any questions about the software, reach out to me.
Yep.
This is something I'm very proud of. We've started, we have a couple of OKR apps right now, but we've started as an OKR app for Jira. And if you go to the Atlassian Marketplace and search for OKRs, you would see that we are #1 app with the biggest number of installs and the highest review rating. So yeah, this is me just bragging about some of our accomplishments.
Oh, yeah, it's a good thing to brag. Okay.
Thank you, Margot.
Enough
Right, agenda for today.
advertisement. Yeah.
Yeah, super clear and short and concise. So we have right now an opening, and then we want to go through. We define with Dmitry 5 like key areas that it would be very good to assess your OKRs, how you're doing with the OKRs. So we for each area we'll give a short intro, what is like ideal state, some tips and tricks, and then we give you opportunity based on this new knowledge or knowledge to assess how far or how close your OKRs to this North Star or ideal state. And then we do then some closing. And you can see we have some small icons. We have Christmas upcoming, so here and there we decorated a bit to feel it more festive.
Yep.
And yeah, usually what we do in the webinar, just small check-in to first reflection, how is available for you the current implementation of the OKRs framework. And you have from 1 to 5. So 1, it's like no value, like an empty plate. Number 3, think it's German style pretzel, like same value, there are more twists than in pretzel. And like the North Star, like, oh, awesome value, it like really works like a magic. So Dima, I think you already sent the link.
Yeah. Yeah. So please join the Miro. We will actually use it. So it will be a bit engaging webinar, not just PowerPoint presentation. You will have to do something with your mouses, and also you will have to talk to each other sometimes. So grab the icon and vote. You should be able to log in without any registration, just in your browser. Yeah. So we know where you are in terms of OKRs.
Okay, so we have already one pretzel. It's good. Assume it's from Felix. He's first.
Yeah. So what you do for the ones who didn't use Miro, you just grab an icon, yeah, and just drag and drop it. Yeah, cool. Okay, nice. We have also very experienced. Of course, Margot, you're very experienced, we know.
Oh, by the way, Margot, do you use in your company in the Oboard OKRs as well?
Yeah, sure. So, but we're having a lot to learn, and I'm here also to learn as well.
So you eat your own, what is the saying? Eat your
we drink our
dog
own
food.
champagne, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So we have more people on the Miro, but few of the icons. So yeah. But probably let's move. Okay, now it's more people. Good.
Okay, if you cannot interact, it's also fine. You can listen in the background.
Yeah. Okay.
No
So,
pressure.
but I see that people have an experience with OKRs and have some value out of it. Cool. Okay. So let's jump into the meat of our webinar. Yes, the reason why you joined it. Cool. So we will start, as Igor mentioned, with 5 areas that we think is important to assess and that will indicate how good you are with your goal setting approach. The first area that we would like to talk is customer centricity. So one of the value why many companies are deciding to use OKRs is actually to have customer centricity in mind, yes, and align everybody towards the outcomes. And we will start with some quotes. So this one from Theodore Levitt: people don't want a quarter-inch drill, they want a quarter-inch hole. Yeah, so nobody interested in the drill itself, they want hole. But with Igor, we think this quote is not completed because people even don't want the quarter-inch hole. They want this hole in order to achieve something. Maybe it's to put some picture on the wall, maybe to create some great atmosphere, hygge, what they call in Danish, lagom in Sweden, and probably other countries also have this some words. So customer centricity. And when we talk about OKRs, where it comes about customer centricity is about what type of key results are you using. And basically, there are 3 types of key results: input, output, outcome. The input is what we do, the effort we put in. It goes into some process, whether it's white box or black box. Out of that, we get some output, the result. Yeah, it might be some milestone. We have achieved something, but still it doesn't guarantee the value. Yeah, I don't know. We have created a marketing campaign. Cool. Did it provide value to us? We don't know. And hopefully this output will provide the outcome, the value that we would like to achieve. And the key results, of course, they should be of outcome. Yes. So ideally, we would like to have outcome key results, expressing outcomes. We should not have them as input type because this is just initiatives that you link under the key results and that will drive your key results. Yeah. And output sometimes okay when we cannot get into output. We actually had a separate workshop on this, so we will try to send more in-depth 1 hour explanation of this. But let's just do a quick entertainment or engagement. Let me bring everyone to me. So we have 2 objectives. One is increase sales, and we have some key results. We have number of signed clients, we have number of calls made, number of calls back from customer. And I would like you to think where each of these key results, is it input, is it output or outcome in the context of this objective? Let's do for the first objective first, and then we will go to the second. So move the stickers. Yeah, mirror link, we will repost. Good. Okay, yeah, you copied it, cool. Yeah, so number of signed clients, yes, outcome, number of calls back from customer, output, and number of calls made, input. Great. So it doesn't matter how many calls you made. You can make 10,000 calls, yes, but if there is no quality in these calls, and you still do not increase the sales. Number of calls back, this is the output. If you did your calls in a really good manner, then clients were interested, they called you back. They would like to get more information. But the outcome in the context of this objective is actually number of signed clients. Yeah. Let's do the same for the second objective. So it's more development objective, improve performance of mobile application. So yeah, do the same, move the stickers. Yeah. So the last 2. Yeah, and you can move if you disagree. Yeah, good. Yeah, and the last one is there. Okay, cool. So yeah, the input is completed 2 hours of code optimization and refactoring. Yeah, again, it doesn't guarantee the value. You put 200 hours for refactoring, but still, whether it's improved performance or not. Key result, reduce the application's load time. This is the output of this refactoring, but still, probably it improved, but was it only in load time or not? The ideal outcome, or one of the good outcomes, would be the reduced number of performance-related issues, yeah, by 70%. So just to show you the difference, and when we talk about customer centricity, your OKRs, your key results, ideally they of outcome-based. They are not just another to-do list. Yeah? A good way to formulate outcome. I like how Jeff described in Who Does What by How Much book. He just recently this year published it. He's also part of the OKR mentors community where I am part. He says that an outcome is a measurable change in customer behavior that creates value. Yeah. So he claims that everyone has a customer, and I agree with him. Whatever you do, you have a customer. Yourself can be a customer, internal customer, your user, yes, another team member, another team in your organization. So you need to understand who is your customer, for whom you are doing this, trying to achieve this goal. Then a measurable, so does what is like, so customer behavior, what we would like to change, and then how much a measurable change. Yeah, so we know that key results, they should be measurable. So this is one of the key characteristics of the key result. And just to show you some example, let's say we have an objective, enhance team effectiveness. This is actually from real life example when I helped one of the teams of agile coaches in Lean Agile Center of Excellence. They had an objective to enhance team effectiveness. And we as humans, we usually will come up with outputs or inputs because it's easier for us. And what they come up first was, how we will know what the key result that we enhance team effectiveness. They came up with, we have created team's maturity model. Yeah. So this is an output. This is not outcome. You can create it, but okay, will it help you with team effectiveness? You don't know. So how you can go from output and inputs into outcomes is actually by asking yourself a question, why? Yeah, why? Or what is the value impact of this created team's maturity model? And then you ask them. So when I asked them, they said, okay, yeah, we need it in order to assess maturity of teams. Okay, why you need to assess it? We would like to identify areas for improvement and growth. Okay, cool. Then why you would like to identify areas? Do you have any problems with it? Yeah, we would like to increase team productivity. We would like to decrease stress level because we see this is a problem. Oh, okay. Then this is already where we come in somewhere. And then you can come up with the outcome key result where, for example, reduce lead time for feature delivery from X to Y, increase the NPS, etc. Yeah. And if we would use who does what by how much, then we can just use this formulation to phrase key results in a better way. Yeah, like teams, who teams does what, deliver features faster with the same quality level by how much, by 10%. So this is the formulation that you can use in order to have outcome-based result, and this is the steps that you can use to get from input outputs to the outcomes. Good. So this was a bit of theory about customer centricity and how you can put it into the OKRs. So now let's look at the ideal situation, and after that we will ask you to assess how you see your ideal, your situation, how far it's from the ideal. So yeah, our outcome-oriented key results. So we with Yegor review quite many OKR implementations, and quite often what we see is a long list of key results, which is just a list of to-do actions. Yeah. If you formulate them as outcomes, you rarely need more than 3 key results in the objective. Yeah, because usually this is the behavior that you would like to change. So yeah, ideal situation, your key results, they are outcome oriented. Then, yeah, and when you have it like this, then OKRs focus on value creation and not just completing tasks or achieving some milestones. Because as we know, achieving some milestones still doesn't guarantee the value. So we would like that they focus on value creation. It is measurable customer impact. Yeah, so if it's eNPS, net promoter score, then from X to Y. If it's revenue, from X to Y. If it's churn rate, from X to Y, and so on. Number of visitors. So people started to visit our website more. Yeah, so this is basically the outcome of all the activities that we do underneath. And also what is important is that teams use regular feedback loops to align OKRs with customer needs, because we cannot predict whether it's right key results or not. You should see them as a hypothesis, yeah, that this is the outcomes that will help us to achieve the objective. But you never know, because we live in a complex world. It's rarely that we know. So you need constantly to check whether it's right one or not. Yeah, so this is how we with Yegor see the ideal situation for the OKRs in terms of customer centricity. And now we would like you to make a self-assessment. So this is what we described as a great way of having OKRs in terms of customer centricity. So now let me bring everyone to me. And again, if your OKRs are just like initiative, your key results are just initiatives or another to-do list, you have many of them, not really describing the value, then put it closer to the left. If your key results are more outcome-based, describing the value, the change in customer behavior that you would like to achieve, measurable, then put it to the right. Okay, welcome back. So any groups would like to share some interesting discussions that you had? We will not go through all groups for the sake of time. Maybe someone would like to share something. Yeah, Anurag, Mittal.
Yeah, so we had a discussion, like we were 2 members in the group, and I think pretty much it was quite similar. So like I gave an example of a company for which I work, like for American Express. So what I mentioned that this is not something new. Like I had worked in the 90s in American Express till 2004. So they used to have internal customers and external customers, and they used to have this CSAT surveys, customer satisfaction surveys. So customer satisfaction means finance function doing a survey for the HR doing a survey for the procurement, and then you are seeing what are the key takeaways, and then you are sharing it back in a town hall, and then you are assigning project teams, cross-functional teams, who have to basically resolve that. And one important thing was there, more business will come. So I don't know if you understand, there is a captive model and there is a third-party outsourcing model. So American Express US will send some work to the Asian market only if the customer satisfaction scores are high. Okay. So if you have to get business, you have to improve your employee satisfaction score and customer. And the same thing my colleague discussed, he said that in his company, they have this ENPS. So, but within the NPS, they have these kind of dimension. How do you rate your company? Whether you will recommend your company to someone to join the company, and whatever the key takeaways are there, those are discussed and those are being worked upon. So in the summary, I just mentioned that coming from a consulting background and having worked across the world, what I have seen is that these new words keeps on coming up: NPS, CSAT, ESAT, team surveys, climate surveys. Pretty much it's the same thing. How you
Yeah.
feel about me or how I feel about you. But to make the consulting relevant, we have to these new words coming in. Yeah.
Yes, to have a job, yes, as a consultant. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, this is quite a good outcome metric quite often to measure the satisfaction.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one. So the next area we would like to share with you is about the focus. And there's a guy who came up with maybe heard or not, like get things done approach, GTD. David Allen, he has a quote: "You can do anything but not everything." So you actually really need to be able to focus. And so what does it mean for the OKRs? And here, as this part about the focus, so we have only one thing here. What is important is you need to limit the number of OKRs, and ideally it should be no more than like 3 clear objectives, and each of them should have no more than 2-3 key results ideally. And here I put the Tony Robbins. I don't know if you know him. It's easy to say, and these coaches, they always say like eat healthy, exercise, like save the money, but it's hard to do. And that is why I have here like small asterisks. Still, I would like to share a few important things. So just a reminder that OKRs are used to like outline as the most important changes and strategic directions. It's not about putting everything there. We usually work with the companies and their first what they want to do. They said, okay, we have hundreds of initiatives. Let's put everything under the OKRs. And so just to track it and use OKRs just to track everything. And we continue to remind that it's more focused strategic framework. It's not how to track everything. For this, you have Jira or other road mapping, other stuff. And less is more, because usually if you put a lot of things, from our experience, by the end of the quarter or like OKR cycle, like everything done a bit, but nothing is complete or nothing is reached and not finished. But still, sometimes it's hard to come out just with 3 objectives, and people want to have like many of them. And we have a few actual tips and tricks. So what you can do here. So first of all, you can give some priority also for and prioritize what is the most important. And as Dima just shared about the value based or like outcome, so better to also prioritize in the based on the values they provide, not just an activity or an effort. Another one what we found, especially when teams or departments, they do some objectives in silos, there could be some similar objectives that actually could be clustered together, and we can break the silos, actually bring some teams to work together. So they can have different initiatives, they can work in parallel, but they contribute to one objective or to similar key results. So maybe you can find some objectives. If you have many of them, maybe you can get together under one. Another thing is you can also try to separate again by the time horizon. So another anti-pattern we see when we teams or departments, organizations, they create OKRs, I don't know, for the whole year. So a lot of OKRs, we need to do a lot of during the year, but then when you start to narrow down, so what exactly you want from this in the whole year, you want to do in the next quarter, and what you want to achieve, that helps to reduce the amount of OKRs and create this focus that you actually focus on the quarter. Yeah, we right now we work with one client, and we discussed with the leaders that it makes sense to focus on the quarter, but as usual, team usually come prepared to us, and they come up with it the whole year, and so we help them to actually to narrow down focus. So usually, what happens? Last but not least, yeah, you can also use the Pareto principle here. I think to OKRs also applies. So if you have like 10 objectives, hundreds of OKRs, you maybe try to define what 20% of them can actually achieve 80% of results or bring 80% of where outcomes. Cool. That's about focus. As I said, we don't want to deep dive here. It just here's the key point is just you need to limit amount of key results and objectives. Cool. And yeah, let's do what you can do some self-assessment. So you have a list of objectives. So we have on the left, it's like squirrel. So can I turn on like, so your team is like a dog chasing after every squirrel in the park, and there is no clear focus. You're working on a million things at once, on a lot of objectives, a lot of key results, and none of them are getting done. So in this part, in the middle is the rabbit hole explorer. So you're focused, kind of. You have narrowed out your priorities, but you constantly dive down some rabbit hole. Let's try this another shiny thing and get distracted. And here we see the Patrick. Then master focus. So you master the art of limiting OKRs initiative to only what is really most important. And even the outside world can't even get your attention. So reflect on your current objective for the 2024 that you have, or maybe you already created for the 2025 you have finished. So where do you are? Anything you would like to share about the focus?
Actually, like, can I speak?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we have used a similar concept, like I have mentioned in the chat also, like SIPOC. So supplier, input, process, output, control. So like if I'm working in an accounting department, I get a number of reports like purchase orders, payment advices. So those become my suppliers. So, but as a project, I had to ensure that the suppliers give me the correct invoices. They give me the correct purchase orders. They give me the correct good receive note. Then only I can process it. Earlier, what was happening, whatever comes, give it to accounting. I have done my task. So you stop it at the root stage. If the supplier gives me the proper input, I am able to work upon it and give a proper output. So supplier gives me an input, then it goes into an accounting process, processing the invoice. It becomes an output for the payments department. Since the payment department has all the correct details, they are able to generate a payment advice. So supplier input, process, output, control. So through this particular process, we were able to maybe reduce a lot of cost of quality. We used to call it cost of rework, cost of rectification, cost of reclassification. And we had a Japanese word for it. We used to call it Muda. Muda is a Japanese word, which is like processing efficiencies. So how to
lean approach sounds like you apply some lean
how it's related to the focus, Anurag. So yeah, it's an interesting concept that you're sharing. So how you see it's related to the focus?
I think it's very much related to similarly what we have discussed here in the OKRs. I think pretty much that short-term approach, long-term, and the three principles which you spoke about, like the squirrel, the rabbit, and the third one, like the Zen master. So there may be too many issues. So you have to use that Pareto principle. and we used to call it ABC costing. So like activity-based costing. So you have to identify which are the trigger points, which are the 20% which are contributing to the 80%, and then hit them first. And the focus used to be external customers, because internal customers I can still manage. But for a company like card services company, tomorrow it can be a newspaper headline. I worked in the World Bank, so the World Bank had one of the main focus. They should not end up investing in a company which should become a headline that the World Bank made a funding to this particular organization in XYZ country. Yeah, so these three principles are it, Zen Master, Rabbit, and Squirrel. I think pretty much relevant.
Okay. Thank you, Anurag. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I suggest we move on just for the sake of time then, and to cover 3 other areas. So the next area is check-in or discipline, and transparency as well. We like this quote from Denzel Washington. So goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without discipline and consistency. So one thing is to create nice goals, customer-centric, but if you don't have discipline on tracking and achieving them, then they will just stay in in some software. So another area is check-ins, so-called OKR check-ins. So what is the ideal situation is that you have regular OKR check-ins. You just do not set OKRs and forget about them, and then in a quarter, oh, by the way, what is the progress? No, you have a regular one. Recommendation is weekly or bi-weekly, where you meet with the team and look at your OKRs, the most important changes, how you're progressing, what is the confidence level. Another ideal situation, OKR check-ins, they are part of existing business meetings. They are not a separate meeting, because then it might have a thinking that, okay, we are discussing now the real stuff, and then when we will have OKR meeting, then we will discuss OKRs. No, it should be part of the existing business meetings, whether it's prioritization, planning, your team huddles, etc. The OKRs have owners, so the ones who are, so we also call them drivers, the ones who are keeping an eye on the state of the OKR, so they update the progress, confidence level, they do it before the OKR check-in, so everyone comes prepared, and you do not waste time looking at whether it's 15 or 16%. OKRs are accessible to all in the organization, and this is where software can really provide a great value, where you can give access to everyone to the OKRs. They can see other teams' OKRs, so accessibility is important. And ideally, you also have some dashboards that you can use on for high-level stakeholder management. What is the progress? Oboard provides really great custom dashboards, standard dashboards that our clients are using in showing the progress on the most important changes. So this is the ideal situation with check-ins. And put where you are. So any interesting stories or discussions to share, what you had in the groups?
So what I noticed in our group that we have pretty different kind of frequency of OKR check-ins. And again, it may depend on the team specifics and company specifics. Like I work in marketing, and we have much more frequent check-ins than the other guys in our group. So this is my insight.
Okay.
But the best part that you have them.
Yeah.
Even if they are not so often.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's move on. There is to the side, there is a video about check-ins where you can see more on the mirror, but so if you would like, you can watch it afterwards.
Yep. And we go to the number 3. It's about alignment. And you can see we have a pattern to start with some quotes, and here from Henry Ford, it's about alignment. And so it's about if everybody move forward together, so then success takes care of itself. I mean, if everybody will go in different direction and will pull some in different directions, then of course you, as a company or as a team, you you will not move. And I came up with two concepts. So one of them, you kind need to have two kind of alignments. So first one is vertical alignment. So when you align vertically, what I mean is that usually your team or department or a company, they have some vision, and then from vision they have a mission how to achieve this vision, and usually it's like high level. It's not really useful in terms of execution for the day. So then the company, they have a strategy. It's more detailed document. So how we can achieve mission vision in more details. And only then we go with OKRs. So if you don't have these first three or some of them, then it's really hard to come up with good objectives and key results. So the first thing is that actually vision, mission, or strategy that should actually exist. I would say strategy, it's even more important. If you don't have vision and mission, but you have strategy, it's already good. So usually mission and vision somehow incorporated there. I here put a few good resources. If you don't have a strategy and you want to create one, so here two good articles, what makes strategy great and how to write, okay, here about product strategy, but you can apply it to tech strategy or business strategy. Those are like good examples. And of course, the timeless book, I would say already, it's good strategy, bad strategy, and the difference and why it matters. It's a great book. Even if you don't plan to write a strategy, just recommend to read it. Yeah, so it's first one, it's about align vertically. Another one, it's you need to align horizontally. And by this, I mean, you shouldn't work in the silos. So you shouldn't have only product OKRs or engineering OKRs or design OKRs or business OKRs without alignment. Here, I put just recent workshop I had with the people, and we actually have like really mix of teams, but also we have a mix of functions. So we have people who from the data teams, we have product people, we have product operations, we have tech people, engineers, we have design, and you can see they discuss together, and so they don't come up with OKRs or initiatives in separate. Yeah, and also what helps to align horizontally is when you have very good vertical alignment. Usually strategy is created to across these functions, and then it's easier to align horizontally because you refer to one strategy or one missions. You can also have like collaborative workshops, as here an example. I usually we hold OKR setting sessions all together. And also need to see that like there is some mutual enablement. So for example, one team enables OKRs of another one, or like tech OKRs might focus on building scalable infrastructure to support like some product OKRs, and product by developing new functionalities, they can support business to achieve some business results. Yeah, so you can try to experiment with a single OKRs for the like product and tech together, or product tech and design. So highly recommend this. Yeah, so think like mindset that you need to have like two alignments, vertical and horizontal. And yeah, same pattern. We want you to do some assessment, and this we do a little bit differently. So we're doing 2x2 metrics. On this axis, you have low alignment and high alignment. And on the vertical one, you have low vertical alignment and high vertical alignment. So for example, if there is no alignment with a mission or strategy, and you also there's no any alignment with other teams, it's team turbulence. So it's chaos, but at least everybody is busy. And the great part, you have very good alignment with a vision and mission and strategy. And also you have very good alignment between teams and functions. So it's great fun. And Silver Superstars, it's aligned to strategy, but it haven't discussed with any other teams or functions. and vice versa. It's you're aligned, but there is no alignment to the company strategy, for example. So let me bring all you together. Just think about where we are in terms of alignment. Right, welcome back. As usual, anybody wants to share anything what you discussed about the alignment? How's the alignment in your company? Do you have strategy, mission?
So what we discussed is that it often happens that the overall company strategy is not like fully clarified, and then each department try to outline their OKR and then approve with the C-level executives, and this way that we're not like pretty aligned with each other. So that was that was one of the challenges I think most of the people mentioned.
I think that is why you see I wrote here, vision mission should actually exist and communicate it. And I wrote many times, because yeah, it's never could be like over communicated. It's not possible. So you really need to communicate it well and be right clear. And also sometimes people struggle if it's too high strategy, too far away from my team. People hard to connect the dots, even if it's well communicated. So you need to make sure that you have not only a company strategy, but if you have a big company, you have a department, maybe for your product line or department, you have also strategies that stems from the main one. Cool.
Yeah.
We go to the last.
Yes, in the last area. Yeah, I just wanted to add what you just said, Igor. We experience with you today this problem where we help in one company, they have 9 strategic directions, then we are helping teams. But these 9 strategic directions, they're so far from them. Yeah, so we are missing for the business development department the strategic directions. So we will mention it to head of business development that it's hard to align teams. Okay, cool. The last but not least is about empowerment and accountability. We would like OKRs to drive this as well. And the quote is Steve Jobs, it doesn't make sense to hire smart people and then tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do. Yeah. And this is on how we define OKRs. So the ideal situation on empowerment and accountability is that it is teams that are deciding how to achieve their objective. So they are defining the key results and initiatives. And I highlighted how, because what most likely will be go from the strategic directions on what we would like to work on, but how it's teams to achieve. And sometimes teams can also say, oh, you know, even it's not in strategic direction, but this is super important to us. Yeah, this part, I don't know, we need to pay this technical debt. This is super important to us. Then we should allow them, empower them to define the OKR for this, but then they should keep themselves accountable for achieving it. Because this is why empowerment, accountability is just 2 sides of the same coin. Then, yeah, this is what I just said. The teams have a say in defining the direction, the what as well. Yeah. So also directions are defined in collaboration with the leadership team. Team is accountable for the achievement of the OKRs. Empowerment and accountability are 2 sides of the coin. So if you would like to get some autonomy, then it goes with the price that you are becoming accountable for what you are deciding to achieve. And we would like with the OKRs to drive team accountability. Yes, so it's not individuals who are doing separate key results or initiatives, but at the same time, what we recommend is that each objective and key results, they have assigned owner or driver. This is the person who acts as a driver, monitoring progress, yeah, raising challenges and blockers, because everybody is busy. But if I know that Igor is keeping an eye on this key result, we'll update the confidence level before OKR check-in, we'll put some comment, we'll ask me where we are, then yeah, it gives a bit more accountability. And it's great to share this accountability between team members. Yeah, so it's distributed among team members to ensure balance and shared responsibility. So even we drive team accountability, still it is good to have individuals on the objective and the key results who are acting as the drivers. Yeah, so this is the ideal situation with your OKRs. And then similar to what you, Igor, had, then also 4 quadrants. We have low empowerment to the left, high empowerment to the right. And then we have high accountability to the top and low accountability bottom. Yeah, so if your teams, you have high accountability with OKRs, yeah, they really feel responsibility for achieving them, yes, and trying to pivot when there are challenges. And also they're highly empowered, then they're like visionaries in harmony, they're like Jedis, yes, they're highly skilled and trusted, and empowered to act with full accountability. If on opposite, if low empowerment, low accountability, they're like stormtroopers, yeah, following orders mindlessly with little responsibility or autonomy. If low accountability but high empowerment, it's like rebels without cause, yeah. So yeah, we are highly empowered, but why we are doing this? Okay, we will figure out later. What is the impact on the business? Who knows? It's fun to do. It's a great OKR to work on. And if it's high accountability but low empowerment, it's like lieutenants for Dark Vader. Yeah, that not really have empowerment but super accountable on delivering. Yeah. So and I see that you already put it. Yeah, delivering Death Star. Yes. Thank you all for your time. Let me stop recording.